This is one of the best action videos on OKTV Today YouTube channel. In this episode you will find the 10 best action scenes from Michael Jai White movies Undisputed 2 and Blood and Bone, all coming up next on this video. Number 12. Prison fight opening scene from Blood and Bone 2009. When ex-con Isaiah Bone is released, he relocates to Los Angeles. By taking the local underground combat scene by storm, he hopes to fulfill a promise he made to a deceased buddy. Every opponent he faces is defeated, earning thousands of dollars in the process. Number 11. First street fight from Blood and Bone 2009. After seeing a bout between local champion Hammerman and another fighter one evening, Bone strikes a deal with promoter Pinball to enter the fight scene in exchange for 20% of his earnings, 40% if Pinball risks his own money. Bone meets mob leader James and his lover Angela Soto the same evening.
Tell me about it.
Number 10. Bone street fight scene from Blood and Bone 2009. In his first underground battle, Bone vanquishes his rival with just 2 kicks. Pinball tells Bone that Angela was once wedded, but James put her husband Danny in prison when he set him up for multiple homicide. James had her do an abortion after finding out she was expecting. Since then, Angela has been addicted to drugs. Making a name for himself in the underground fighting world, Bone defeats every opponent he faces and earns thousands of dollars for Pinball and himself. He also develops relationships with the residents of his apartment building, including Jared, a little child Tamara adopted when his father was imprisoned, Roberto, an elderly Latin American man with whom he plays chess, and Tamara, the landlord who looks after his flat.
Time to pay up! You won't get it! Right here. What? Goddamn, you're one crazy son of a bitch. I didn't fuck this.
Number 9. Bone vs. Hammerman from Blood and Bone 2009. James offers Bone a bargain after he knocks the once unbeaten Hammerman to the ground. The Consortium, a group of wealthy and influential individuals, controls the global underground combat scene. Franklin McVeigh, a black market armaments dealer, is the major force behind it. James wants Bone to compete against the current champion, Pretty Boy Price. Bone tells Angela that he was cellmates and good friends with Danny after promising James that he will think about the offer. After that, a prisoner called JC killed Danny one day. She gave birth to a boy soon after Danny was sent to prison, but Angela lost control of him and is unsure if he is still alive, she discloses. Although Bone says he will take her to see her kid, he puts her to a drug treatment center until she is prepared. Number 8. Bone vs. Prince from Blood and Bone 2009. The following morning, James gives McVeigh $5 million United States dollars in exchange for him approving the Consortium and setting up a bout between Price and Bone. After witnessing one of James' street killings, Bone learns that Roberto was mauled to death by James' dogs in front of the apartment that evening. Mostly because he never accepted the invitation, Bone turns down the chance to fight for James. Although Bone is on the verge of beating Price, he taps the ground and forfeits the battle. When an enraged James reaches for his katana and fights Bone, McVeigh's bodyguard O'Hara throws Bone a Gian to level the playing field. Bone beats James with the sheath after dropping the sword. James cuts his own hand as Bone deflects a sword stroke in the middle of the fight. Before the police reach the residence to take James into custody, he flees.
When I get out.
Number 7. Chambers sent to prison Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing 2006. George Iceman Chambers is framed for cocaine possession and imprisoned after traveling to the Russian Federation for a series of boxing contests. He finds a string of unlawful full-contact mixed martial arts bouts there, where Yuri Boyka, a prisoner, dominates. In order to profit personally, frequently at the cost of the fighters, the jail authorities set up these battles and put hefty side bets.
Na zdrowie!
I'm gonna change clothes. Give me 10 minutes.
Number 6. Chambers attacked by Boyka goons. Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing 2006. Once inside, Chambers' warden and legal advisor inform him that he will probably receive an accelerated appeal and an early release if he engages Yuri in combat. After doing humiliating physical work in the prison's sewer system, witnessing the cruelty of the guards, and being prepared to confront the lethal Yuri gang, he eventually accepts after originally refusing. He is saved from both types of humiliation by Crow, Eli Danker, a disabled prisoner. Number 5. Chambers training for prison fight. Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing 2006. While Boyka prepares a string of lethal punches, tosses, and wrestling combinations intended to degrade his opponent in the ring, Chambers continues to rely on his boxing experience. Both combatants put in a lot of training for the bout. In order to put a stop to the struggle, Crow taught Chambers a cunning leg joint lock near the end of the session. With solemnity, he tells Chambers to make the most of it if he has the chance. Number 4. Chambers vs. Boyka Fight Scene Part 1. Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing 2006. But before the bout, Boyka's buddies had Steven, George's cellmate and his cornerman, mix his water with a little sedative. Chambers is a little caught off guard by the speed and diversity of Boyka's strikes during the fight, but he holds his own through the opening round by maintaining his composure, staying at a distance, and delivering punishing punch combos whenever he can. After the first round, Chambers takes a few drinks of the poisoned water that Steven had slipped into his mouth. He loses focus in the second round and starts to get hit harder and harder until Boyka's deadly flying kick knocks him out. After the altercation, Steven ends his own life because he feels guilty. Number 3. Chambers vs. Boyka Final Fight Scene Part 2. Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing 2006. Crow tells Chambers to break Boyka's leg to end the fight if he has the opportunity because Boyka enjoys brutalizing his opponents and other prisoners with a passion that verges on sadism, and his combination of pride and a high pain threshold makes it doubtful that he will bow down. Although Chambers acknowledges this, he secretly thinks he can knock out Boyka. All spectators can see that the fighters are considerably more evenly balanced once the bout starts, and Chambers' style is far more remarkable. Mixture of kicks, tackles, and combos are exchanged during the protracted and fierce battle. Chambers eventually understands that if the struggle continues for too long, Boyka will probably knock him out but won't lose consciousness or surrender. In order to establish himself as the prison's new uncontested champion, Chambers changes tactics, gets Boyka in the joint lock, and breaks Boyka's leg to finish the battle.
Congratulations, Mr. Chambers.
What's this?
Big fan of yours.
One moment. I want to make a deal.
Number 2. Max gives Case the opportunity to earn some cash while also assisting him in promoting the Beatdown. After a few weeks of instruction, the 4 trainees quarrel over why they should be there at all, and, in the worst case scenario, Justin and Zach physically harm one another, forcing them to resolve their differences on their own. Police officials later harass Case and threaten him for breaking his probation. In order to train and host the Beatdown event, the crew constructs a new gym. Number 1. After training under a former MMA rising star, 4 fighters from various backgrounds are forced to face off against one another.
So I guess you heard about Case, right? Best man win? Be careful on that force.
Though they come from different backgrounds, bullied record store clerk Justin, Scott Epstein, wrestler Mike, Dean Geyer, former boxer Zach, Alex Meraz, and talented MMA fighter Tim, Todd Duffy all have an affinity for the savage science and quickly show loyalty to their unconventional trainer, Case, Michael Jai White, a brilliant former UFC champion who has made his own success. Case trains the young men for a tournament called the Beatdown, which is hosted by local college student and fight tycoon Max, Evan Peters, by training him about a lot more than just fighting. The young guys get together to expose a traitor among themselves when their mentor is put up by some dishonest police officers. Persistent bullying causes Justin to lose his temper, go rogue, and attack not just his personal adversaries but also the group by accusing their mentor and putting him in jail. In retaliation, the other members of the group form a team and confront Justin during the beatdown. Zach becomes well known across the community and is liked more by women. Life is nice and he doesn't want to risk getting blind, so he dumps Eve and thinks about leaving the beatdown. Mike and Eve having sex. They are dating. To replace Zach in the competition, Max tries to persuade Case. Case discloses that he was upset since he lost both of his parents in the flooding in New Orleans. A man got into a fight with him in a pub, but Case put an end to it. The court gave him the maximum prison term after hearing about his history in mixed martial arts. In self-defense, he would have fled if he had shot the man. Case has since quit the MMA. Only one of them can defeat the other as each must overcome their own obstacles to get to the final battle. Zach is defeated by Mike, and Tim is eliminated from the competition when Justin hurts him in the bathroom. Mike and Justin battle it out in the tournament finals until Mike breaks Justin's right shoulder with an omoplata submission hold. Justin tries to jump Mike from behind in retaliation, but Mike punches him in the face like Superman. After celebrating his victory, Mike contacts his father and invites him to supper since they have a lot to discuss. Big John McCarthy calls Case to confirm his comeback to mixed martial arts. If you like this video, make sure to check out OKTV Today's YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos like this. If you want to see our newest episode, make sure you subscribe to get notification.
Yeah. First, congrats, Mike, you did it.